Dear teacher and students, my research is about analyzing the emotion expressed by different playing skills of Mozart's piano sonata. My research is divided into five parts. Part 1, background purpose of the study. Part 2, literature review and relevance. Part 3, research methods. Part 4, primary study design. Part 5, reference. Part 1, background purpose of the study. First, research purpose. At present, domestic research on Mozart's piano sonata mainly focus on analysis of musical style, exploration of playing techniques, research on teaching application, and the comparison of additions. There are various studies on how different playing techniques, such as key touch, tempo, strength, pedal, affect the emotion expression of Mozart's sonata. So the purpose of this study is to analyze the representative works of Mozart's early, middle, and late periods in order to summarize the emotions expressed by the playing techniques in Mozart's piano sonata. Research background. The style of Mozart's piano sonata is beautiful and soft, soothing and smooth, and the melody is not only melodious but also has a certain theme and story. His composition can be roughly divided into three periods: early, middle, and late, with personalized differences between the styles of different periods, but also interlocked the integrated. His early composition, including the six sonatas, K279 to K284, the hometown sonatas, were as vigorous and energetic as his age. The middle period of his composition contained the seven sonatas, K309 to K331, which were composed at a time when the transition from classicism to neoclassicism to the Renaissance was taking place and when people's thinking was gradually changed. And this thinking also had a certain influence on him. Late composition, including K457 Fantasy, Sonata K457, K533 Act. After he finished K333, his life became tougher and more difficult, and the works of this period added more thinking, became more philosophical, and the contrast with the previous works and artistical expression of the tension of the mood is also more relaxed and free. Part 2, Literature Review and Relevance. 1. Starting from the musical characteristics of the classical period, the work is discussed in relation of special works. Zhang Luyi systematically analyzes the musical style of the K330 sonata from the aspects of compositional structure, harmony, language, and melodical characteristics, pointing out that it melodies the characteristics of Mozart's mature period. Lan Lan focus on singing style of the K333 sonata and discusses how Mozart incorporated operatic elements into his instrumental composition. 2. By studying and analyzing the performance techniques of specialty space of music. 裴雪科 takes K576 as an example and analysis in detail the technical difficulties and solutions is Mozart-led sonatas, especially the performance treatment of fast scales and ornamentation. 程琦 specifically discusses the special rhythm and key touching method of K331. Generally speaking, the exciting research shows a trait from per analysis of works to the guardians of performance practice, and the research methodology has gradually shifted from per theoretical analysis to the mode of combining theory and practice. However, the systematic comparative studying of Mozart's piano sonatas is still insufficient, and most of the papers focus on single work, lacking the study of the evolution and the overall created style of Mozart's sonata. Part 3. Research method. First, methodology choice. Suitability of the research topic. This study focuses on the analysis of emotion expression, the music performance art, which is subjective and interpretive topic. The expression of musical emotion is essentially a complex human phenomenon, and emotional express such as melancholy, joyful, and dramatic are difficult to be accurately measured by simple qualitative indicators. Qualitative research enhances the holistic understanding and in-depth interpretation of the phenomenon, which fits the core objective of this study, which is to explore the interesting relationship between playing techniques and emotional expression. Qualitative research can reveal how these technical elements work together to build a specific emotional expression, affects through details described and analysis. Background and system analysis. The performance tradition of Mozart's piano sonatas has developed over more than 2 centuries, resulting in a rich variety of interpretive styles. In order to deeply understanding the differences between these styles and their emotional expression characteristics, it is necessary to place them in specific historical, contextic, and artistic tradition. Qualitative research methods can effectively integrate multiple contextual data, and through such contextualized analysis, we can more comprehensively grasp the complex relation between performance techniques and emotional expression. 2. Advantage and limitations. First advantage: in-depth understanding of the mechanism of emotional expression. Through the analysis of representativity, performance, vision from different periods, we can thematically examine the personally way of handling the notation by the performance, and we can clearly show the correlation between the intensity of the key stories and the intensity of the emotion. Flexibility to adapt to the diversity of musical performance. A variety of data scores can be combined, such as sheet music, notation, performance recording, and historical document, through which this research methodology is able to integrate diversified research material and greatly enhance the reliability of the research finding. Limitations: higher subjectives. Due to the inherently artistic recreation nature of musical interpretation, the researcher may be has influenced by personal performances when analysis performance vision. Chapels are less lessons. Mozart's 18 piano sonatas have a vast number of performance vision, making it difficult to enhance all important exploitation, even when focusing on repetition work such as K330 and K331. Part 4. Primary Study Design. First, an overview of Mozart's style in 3 periods. The early periods, 1766 to 1777. These works are represented by the sonatas K279 to 284 and K309, which are characterized by transparent texture, clear prance structure, and an impress how melody elegance resembles the dramatic constructs. Formally, these works closely follow the principles of the classical sonata, but are developed with less complexity than later works, as a Sonny K282 in E-flat major indicates. The emotional range of these works tend toward graphically rather than prolonged expression. Middle period, 1778 to 1784, marked by sonatas K310 to K333. This Mozart enhancing expressibility. The target K310 in A minor demonstrates unpressed emotion depth with its story opening movement and chromatic intensity. Technique demands increased scientifically feature more subtle passage work and texture variety. Mozart began with form expression, the key 331 themes, and first movement, the final break from traditional sonata conventions. Elements, contrapuntal elements, emotion more permanently, particularly in slow movement, like the rich Andante of K330. Late period 1784 to 1791. The final group represents Mozart at his most compositionally advanced. Works like at C minor K457. Beethoven's dramatic intensity, while the crinoline K545 expressive classical perfection. The keyboard writing become conventions with perhaps rich and filler texture. Polyautic complexity its peak and the fugue final of K533 and the decidedly worked K576 formal structure grow more sophisticated with ability development and heightened tone relationships. The late sonata balance profound expression with impeccable craftsmanship as emphasized by the sublime K570, perfect including between emotion and form. 2. Analyze the emotion expressed by the same technique through three tracts from different time periods. First, express signs through appoggiatura. Early period, elegantly melodic, second flat in bar 12 of the third movement of K284. Middle period, K33, second movement, bar 5. Extended knurling, enhanced lyrism. Late period, K570. Diminished 7 knurling in the first movement, bar 28. Created tension. Number 2. Express cheerful through trees. Early period, K279. First movement, unfolding tree clutter, bars 58 to 62. Middle period, tree ornamentation in the trackswind passage of the third movement, K331. Late period, K545, subtitular trees in the first movement, bar 36 to 38. Number 3. Increase dramatic impression through contrast intensity, using crescendo to create a sense of anticipation. Early period, K309, first movement, transition bars 41 to 45. Middle period, K333, first movement, subtitle Preparation, bars 6-3 to 6-7. Late period, K576. Final unfolding section, bars 9-7 to 101. Summarize. These cumulatives are technique across time suggest that Mozart maintained certain core musical language throughout his article-metration. His system of emotion expression was based on rigorous classical forms, realized through finely controlled acoustic parameters. Changes from one period to the next are more in the complexity, and the structure depends of the techniques used, rather than the fundamental alteration of expression. This dialectic relationship between change and don't change is the key to the unity and creativity of Mozart's music. Part 5. References. Thank you for your listening.